In this demonstration, we are going to take a look at how to create a position with personnel actions enabled and without, and then we will take a look at how to add details to a position. So the first thing we're going to do is create a position without having personnel actions enabled. So to do that, it's pretty simple. From the dashboard for Dynamics 365 for Talent, we are going to click the Organization Administration workspace. And then once this page opens, we are going to click Positions under Positions. Once this form opens, we can click the New dropdown in the action pane, and we can add a new position. You'll see that the position ID number has already been filled in for us, and then we need to insert information about the job and the department. So we are going to select a specific job, and let's say we're going to hire a new human resources manager. So we need to create a position for that. So we have that, and we'll select it. And then in the department, we are going to say that they'll be in human resources. So we'll select that as well. We'll set the activation for this as the 30th, and then we will set the retirement as never for now, and then we'll click Create Position. Now that the positions form has opened, you can see that it lists Manager of Human Resources as the job title. We have the position number here. We have a description that was pulled from the job the position is associated to. Most of the information that you'll see that's filled in here automatically has been pulled from the specific job that the position has been created in. So we have some fast tabs here that we will go through later, but let's look at how to create a job with personnel actions enabled in the system. So to do that, we are first going to turn on personnel actions. So we're going to go to the Human Resources Share Parameters page, and I have it listed here in my search pane. So I'm going to select that. And to get here automatically, you can see that it is in personnel management and then setup and human resources shared parameters. Now, once I'm on this page, I can select personnel actions in the tabs on the left. And from here, I have two different options for enable worker actions and enable position actions. So I'm going to switch on both of these. And then I'm going to click Save in the action pane just to make sure it saves. And now we are going to create another position. So we're going to go back to Organization Administration, and then we are going to click Positions. So once the position page is opened, we can click New in the action pane to create a new position with personnel actions. Now you can see that the page that we're given is completely different. It says your organization requires you to select an action type when you create a new position. So select an action type and then enter the position details. So we're going to get started by entering a personnel action type. So we're going to click the drop down, and you can see that we have a few different options here. So let's look at what they are. I'm going to expand this just so we can see the description a little better. We have edit information about a position without a workflow process, request to edit information about a position, create a new position without a workflow process, and request that a new position be created. So I'm going to create a new position without a workflow process. And now that I've done that, I can select a reason code. So I'm going to click the drop down, and we can see that I have some options here. I can add additional positions due to organizational growth, or I can opt for organization restructuring. Let's say we're experiencing some growth. So I'm going to select that, and then I'll click continue. Okay, now we have the new position action form open, and we can see that we can enter the number of new positions. We can list who it's requested by. So I'm going to click the drop down here. And we are going to select that Jody Hicks is requesting this, and we'll click select. We can add a comment. We can add a related action if we would like to. I don't think we necessarily need that. So we can look at budget comments and other information for that. You can see that we also have a number of action panes here for comments. We have a general section where we can add information about the description, and we can add information about the job, which is actually required. So we are going to select that. And then we are going to select Human Resources Manager. And this is a long list, so I'm going to type Human Resources. And then I'll select Human Resources Manager. and then it will automatically populate information. And you should notice that this general FAST tab looks very similar to the non-personnel actions version. So we have a department and a position type that we can fill in. So I'm going to click department, and we're going to select human resources here. And then under position type, we're going to list this as full-time. So we have other information we can fill in here, including about position duration, relationships, payroll, workers' compensation, and other areas. But for now, we're just going to click Save, and then we can close the form. Now that we're back on the positions form, we are going to look at the position that we created earlier without personnel actions enabled, and we are going to look at some of the fields that we can edit. So in the positions filter here, I'm going to search for human resources, and I'm going to select job to get this to filter down to what I'm looking for. So I have this one here that I created earlier, so I'm going to select Manager of Human Resources. And then in the action pane, I'm going to click Edit. Now, keep in mind that if you have personnel actions enabled on the system, you will have to basically send in a request to edit the actual position. Now that we've clicked Edit in the action pane, we can look at the different FAST tabs that are available for us to edit. So you can see that we have our position number and our description, and we have a job, department, and a title that are all listed here. We can change these if we would like to. We can also enter a compensation region. We can list when it's available for assignment. And then we have the position duration FAST tab, which allows us to list the activation and retirement. If we expand the reports to position FAST tab, you can click new here to actually add what position this reports to. I'm going to leave this alone, but if we added an entry here, you would know that this would add the position to a specific hierarchy. So it's important to keep that in mind. Then we have entries for things like worker assignment. So we can enter assignments here. And we have payroll information, which we can also add, including the pay cycle, what it's paid by, and annual regular hours. We also have relationships, workers' compensation, fair labor union, and financial dimensions if we want to enter that information as well. Once we've entered all of the details that we want to for this form, we can then close it and the position has been created.